Advocacy gatekeeping and its harm. Imagine a group working toward change. They are organized, they are experienced, they have relationships with decision makers. On the surface, they are exactly what a movement needs. But beneath that structure, something quieter begins to happen. A new voice enters, urgent, direct, pushing for faster change. And almost immediately, they hear it. That's not the way it's done. Slow down. We have to be strategic. It sounds reasonable, but over time that phrase becomes more than guidance. It becomes a boundary. When gatekeeping takes hold, it doesn't block people outright. It narrows what is allowed, which voices are heard, which approaches are acceptable, which ideas are considered realistic. The movement stops asking what could work and starts asking what will not disrupt the system, and in that shift, something fundamental changes. At the same time, something else begins to grow alongside it. The group itself becomes more defined, more visible, more recognizable. It develops an identity, a brand. At first, that brand helps. Branding makes a group easier to recognize, easier to trust, and easier to support. It helps communicate a mission clearly and build credibility with others. But over time, the role of that brand begins to change. Instead of supporting the message, it starts to center the group. You start to see it in subtle ways. Materials highlight the organization as much as the issue. Logos become central. T-shirts, slogans, and visuals reinforce not just the cause, but the identity of the group behind it. And slowly, the focus shifts from what needs to change to who represents the change. That shift matters, because once the group becomes the focus, it becomes something to protect. Its image matters, its recognition matters, its credibility matters, and decisions start to change. Messages are shaped to fit the identity. Ideas are filtered based on alignment. New voices are evaluated based on whether they fit the brand. This reinforces gatekeeping, because maintaining a brand requires consistency. Consistency requires control, and control limits participation. Over time, the message itself begins to narrow. Complex issues are simplified. Certain ideas are emphasized. Others are left out. The result is a movement that looks clear but becomes less complete. There is also a shift in ownership. As the group becomes associated with the issue, it begins to act as its primary voice. Other voices become secondary, and the issue itself becomes tied to the organization's identity. Credibility adds another layer. A strong brand builds trust, but it also creates pressure to maintain that trust. Messages become more cautious, decisions become more controlled, and advocacy begins to adjust around maintaining reputation. Over time, a pattern forms. Gatekeeping narrows participation, branding narrows messaging, credibility narrows decision-making. The movement becomes more visible but more limited. The organization grows stronger, but the connection to the issue becomes more controlled. What makes this difficult to recognize is that everything can still look successful. The messaging is clear, the organization is known, the brand is strong, but visibility is not the same as impact. Advocacy is meant to evolve, to expand, to allow new voices and ideas to shape it. So when the focus shifts toward building and protecting the group, it is worth asking, has the movement stayed centered on the issue, or has it begun to center on itself? Because when a group begins to sell itself more than the message, advocacy can shift from transformation to preservation. And that shift determines whether the movement continues to grow or quietly limits what it can become.